Okay, the third video in my retrospective expose of having spent 11 years in the men's dating relationship area. And I want to talk about abundance with women today. A lot of men say they want abundance with women. What does that mean? What does it mean to you? If you have abundance with women, what will that look like? And for me, abundance with women means that if I feel on the inside a little bit lonely and grey, I can get on my phone and call somebody up, and she will come over within the matter of a couple of hours, and I can sit back and I can revel in her greatest feminine spiritual gifts. There's an unconditional sense of acceptance of me, of herself and of me. There's an unconditional sense of love. There is radiance, feminine grace. There might be a sense of erotic or sexual passion. There might just be a sense of passion of being with each other. There might be an ardent sense of heartfelt love and yearning to be together, or it might be more subtle. But whatever the case, there's this kind of rainbow of beautiful, feminine and very spiritual kind of ethereal gifts. And I can just call her up when I feel an absence or a yearning for that, and she will come around and give that to me. So that's my definition of abundance. Now, of course, a lot of men define abundance in many, many different ways, right? I want sheer numbers, thousands of women. I want hotness, only the tens. I want this polyamorous thing. I want to be the king of a harem. I want to have a Playboy mansion and just fill it wall to wall with women. And I typically find that the deeper a man's own sense of inner absence and his dislocation from these feminine qualities that I've just named, unconditional acceptance, heart-based kind of yearning feminine love, the true erotic, intimate, connected passion, the more distance he is from that and the more pain he feels from not feeling these inner feminine qualities, he will distort his sense and definition of abundance all the more. That can be very, very problematic when we feel so detached from the gifts of the feminine that we set out and blaze a trail to try and recreate or substitute for that abundance of feminine spirit with an abundance of female bodies. Even more insidiously, the quality of how you relate to women can also be really impacted. And if your sense is that you never experience grace and divine servitude from the feminine in your life, you might develop the compulsion to want that through a demeaning or degrading relationship where you place her in a position of submission, and all kinds of kinky fantasies can go darkly awry. And instead of experiencing ongoing light in your intimate relationship with women, there's an ongoing twistedness or difficulty or darkness that ensues in its place. And I always found very, very interesting the whole story and archetype of Hugh Hefner. He's very much an archetype in a way, the guy with the purple robe and the giant harem. Like, what was going on there that created that? And I know that there's some men in my community that look up to him as like this great figure who really loved women and attracted him towards him. But I look over there and I honestly like look at the psychological profile of him. What set him out on this journey to fill such a world around him with women? And I don't believe that it was a full Playboy mansion based on true, deep intimacy. I really believe that he was making up for possibly one of the most painful lacks within by filling it up with female material forms. I could be wrong, but that's my assumption. That's a line of questioning I certainly have. Now, a lot of men have a really, really good crowning insight, which is, I discover that I don't need to seek the feminine spiritual qualities that I lack, this unconditional acceptance, this sense of unconditional love. I don't need to seek that from women's bodies. I don't even need to seek that from women. In fact, I can get all that on my own within. And there's a movement of men going their own way, which reaches a conclusion that women are fundamentally toxic and they're going to destroy your life. So the safest thing that you can do is just eject yourself out of the entire dating relationship pool. But there's even a kind of spiritualized version of that, which is actually the healthy insight that women and women's love are not going to make you ever feel that sense of abundance, and the abundance of the spirit and qualities that you want to feel, you can actually get for yourself. So men kind of go their own way, not in this reactive, antagonistic sense, but in sense of a spiritual insight. If I do a certain kind of inner work, I will really have the discovery that I don't need women for anything. Acceptance, love, nurturance, grace, I can provide everything for myself from within. And that is kind of true, actually. And the more you get in touch with what is known as your anima complex, your inner feminine or inner woman, the more you discover that there are aspects of your psyche and your emotional life and your spiritual life which are uniquely feminine and can fill you with the feminine qualities that you seek for within women. So you can kind of marry the inner man and the inner woman, the inner Adam and the inner Eve, and be this whole and complete creature. Psychological integration. And you'll never have to depend on women anymore. And your sense of abundance then gets defined on, wow, I feel abundance within my body. Every time I close my eyes to meditate, every time I feel some of my emotions, even in my inner sense of self-talk, the way that I treat myself has integrated masculine, integrated feminine. Wow, it is so good being me. I don't need anything from the external world to come in and give me a fulfillment that isn't already here. Now, I don't think that this is the end of the line. And I do think that however developed you become, perhaps as you become more developed than reaching this paragon pin of the psychological and spiritual ladder, you actually realize that to walk through your life being this perfectly embodied masculine and feminine and self-sustained generator of your own abundance, you're probably not going to live like that all the time. And if you did, there is a subtle loneliness to it, which is even when you feel maximally abundant and whole and complete in and of yourself, you look out through those eyes onto the world and women are still magnificent. And from your place of wholeness and completeness, you might feel into the things that you want to do with your life and realize that for as whole and complete as you actually are, you still do not have all the time and all the resources you need to get everything that you want done in the world done. We are whole and complete, transcendent beings, much more than we think we are, and at the same time, we have inbuilt limitations, and there is only so much we're going to be able to live, experience, and achieve. And so when I also feel into the humility of this, and I decide what is mine to do in the world, what is mine to give, I look out at the women of the world and I'm like, thank God you exist because I need you to help me. I'm going to concentrate on this over here and this over here. And I don't have the time to give myself all the nurturance, all the love, all the acceptance that I can all of the time. I'm choosing a human embodied path. And you have human embodied feminine gifts. And I could live without them washing all over me. I could be monk on the mountaintop, perfectly aligned and abundant from within. But it is actually kind of more humble, more human, more animal, more preferable that I still call you up. And there's an aspect of me that enjoys so much the beauty of your own burning compassion and love and acceptance for me than I enjoy my own burning love and compassion and acceptance for myself. I look out through my eyes and it's more thrilling to receive these things come back to me through relationship. And again, even though I've experienced what it's like to be fully integrated masculine and feminine, you know, everything I need is within me now and on tap, it is still more pleasurable to pick up the phone and call a woman I love and have her come round and just sit in the bath of her great feminine qualities. And so my sense of abundance expands out into that again. I want to feel myself as a member of a family. I want to receive mother energy, sister energy, daughter energy, wise grandmother energy. I want to receive all of the different female energies come towards me, because that's beautiful. And when we look about how abundance works realistically, when I'm in the presence of these feminine qualities, I have it all. I could be in a room of 100 models, each of them with their heart closed, and feel none of this fulfillment for myself. It's having the feminine around you to be open. And if the feminine around you is open, you don't need many women at all to give you that deep feeling of a meaningful life. Family members, one lover, or one wife, maybe a cute neighbor or two that you share a joke with in the morning as you go, maybe a couple of different archetypal flavors of femininity, but you don't need a lot around you. And really my belief is that every man in this world, because half the beings of the planet are female, we already have the abundance around us. It's just one, do you recognize true feminine grace and feminine spiritual qualities when they are there? And two, when they are not there, are you the kind of man who can invoke them and have them grow and have them flower and blossom around you in your life? And I think if you're a man that's got that, just a few great women around you in your kingdom, offering you a number of different gifts and in a number of different roles, that is going to be everything that you need. And because of the current state of the world, you will probably get a lot more than you need as well. There are so few men who see the true virtues and qualities of the feminine, let alone know how to call in and invoke more of them, that other women will gravitate towards you to the point where you get problems of abundance. One problem of abundance is there's just not the time and space to be able to give yourself as a gift back to these women. And the other problem is that it is actually heartbreaking when you think about the number of good, beautiful women and feminine hearts there are in the world, and how many of them struggle to find a man who is an apt match for them. Then that brings up a lot of sadness and compassion within me. One thing I kind of want to do is clone myself 1,000,000 times so I can enjoy all those women and bring soothing to their hearts. Another thing that I would like to do is mentor and guide enough men so that they can have this experience of true, relaxed, humble, but powerful abundance and meet these women one-to-one. And the other thing that I'm just thinking this on the top of my head right now is to help a lot of these women also come to a sense of their own abundance, which is many, many women, just as many, many men, have no idea of what their deeper spiritual qualities actually are. And then to get out of the cycle of feeling that you need a man to complete you, or feeling that you need to do a lot of stuff in order to be worthy, that if you can find those qualities within yourself exactly how you are, then that's going to liberate you and give yourself as well a life where you are abundant as a woman in the masculine and within men. If you enjoy my words, if you enjoy my perspective, make sure you subscribe, not just here on YouTube, but all my latest writing comes out on my Substack. The link is below. I also offer coaching, so you can see a link to my schedule where you can book a one-on-one call if you want to pick my brain about any of the topics on my channel. And of course, if you want to go into yourself and do some of the deep embodiment work that I frequently talk about on the channel, there is my Lover, Outlaw, Trickster, Magician program that you can sign up for today. It's on demand. You can get started with the guided practices, and the link again is below. I'll see you on the next video.